In furtherance of the divine judgment of God upon the land in the form of presentation of plagues upon the land of Egypt, it is time for me to introduce you to the fourth plague. But before I do that, I would like to present the ending part of the last narrative that has to do with creation of gnats, or what I call mosquitoes in the land. And that ending part of that event says, in Exodus chapter number 8 and verse number 28 says, Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only you shall not go very far away. Conditions are being attached now. Make supplications for me. Then Moses said, Behold, I am going out from you, and I shall make supplications to the Lord, that the swarm of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. Only do not let Pharaoh deal deceitfully again in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. So Moses went out from Pharaoh and made supplications to the Lord. The Lord did as Moses asked, and removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. Not one remained, but Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also, and he did not let the people go. Why I read this is for us to know that when God started a problem, it is God that will stop it. When man caused a problem and it is out of man's control, if you involve God, God will bring it to an end. Having said this, look at the fourth plague, and it has to do with the death of the cattle of the land. If we look at all this development, we discover that the nation is suffering a great blow. This time around, God has stepped on economic life of the nation. Cattle means a lot to the people of Egypt because they survive and make a lot of money from rearing of cattle. Permit me to read a narrative for you from Exodus chapter number 9 and verse number 1, which says, Then the Lord said to Moses, Go to Pharaoh and speak to him. Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Very simple. For if you refuse to let them go and continue to hold them, behold, the hand of the Lord will come with a very severe pestilence in the land, in your livestock, which are in the field, on the horses, on the donkeys, on the camels, on the herds, and on the flocks. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that nothing will die of all that belongs to the sons of Israel. That is to say, the next plague will be unleashed on Egyptians. The demarcation will be there so that they will know that the God that is dealing with the gods of the land in Egypt is the God that is protecting the people of Israel. Which God is the God of the Jews trying to unleash mayhem upon in the land of Egypt? Permit me to read this for you. And it says, in Egyptian mythology, Hathor is the goddess most associated with cattle. She is often depicted as a cow or with cow-like features, such as a human figure with cow ears, or a human with cow horns and a sun disk. Hathor was also considered the celestial cow who provided sustenance to her worshippers. This goddess, known as Hathor, it is time to challenge her. Is a goddess because he's presented as a feminine god. God struck the entire cattle in the land, and all those cattle died. One of the interesting things here is the God of the Jews setting a time frame with which he will do it to prove to them that he is in control. Verse number 5 of Exodus chapter number 9, it went further to say, the Lord set a definite time, saying, tomorrow the Lord will do this thing in the land. So the Lord did this thing on the next day, and all the livestock of Egypt died. But of the livestock of the sons of Israel, not one died. Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not even one of the livestock of Israel dead. But the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. Remember, what we are saying here is not just a tale that we are presenting to us. It's not a folklore. It is an event that happened in history. God setting a time is to prove to them that he is in control. He does it when he wanted, and no power can change what he's doing and the time he's doing it. That is why in Igbo there is a name we answer, and it says Ogechi, God's time. To tell you that God is in charge of affairs of mankind. He does what he wants to do at his own time. Permit me to say this. In Africa, I want us to know that the time for divine visitation of the land is now. All African leaders should subscribe to God's timing, should align themselves to the appropriate time of God. Time of manipulation is over. Time of colonialistic influence is over. It is time for us to exercise dominion in our land by ourselves. We must change our mindset and start doing good so that the land will favor us. God said, I will control the time. I will do it at the appropriate time, so that it will not be according to the timing of the God that is in charge of livestock, that goes by the name Hathor. Hathor will not regulate the time. Hathor will not determine when it will happen. Oh my God. I want to challenge us in Africa. For those who want to become what God has not ordained them to be at a particular point in time that is not God's time. You want to be rich when God's time has not come for you to be rich. And because of that, instead of working hard, planning to become what God has ordained you to be at the appropriate time of God, you are cutting corners, destroying lives, killing people and harvesting their organ just to make money. Do you know that God has ordained you to be great? But it will come in his own time as you work hard. Hard work pays. Stop cutting corners. There is time for everything. Time to work hard and time to reap the dividend of hard work. God said, by this time tomorrow, I'm going to do this. And no God was able to stop him. I still want to say this, and I keep emphasizing. Fear God in heaven as you exercise the power of authority, power and authority given to you as a leader in Africa. Revere God in heaven. Fear him and do good to your citizens, and the land will benefit both you, the leaders, and we, the led. Call me Pastor Elisha, the reformer with a difference and a rising voice in Africa.